2702. We're joined now by Robin Preston, the state member for Hawkesbury. Good morning and thank you for your time.
Morning, James.
So third flood in your electorate in 18 months. The community must be exhausted. What's happening this morning?
Look, we are exhausted, but it's like we've gone through these rehearsals time and time again, and this community is quite a resilient and amazing group of people. We've got the river dropping at North Richmond at the moment. It's at 14.02 metres. It's still rising at Windsor. It hasn't peaked there at all, and it's still rising at Sackville. All the low-lying areas around Agnes Banks, North Richmond, Gronowes Point, Ebenezer, Windsor, there are warnings there. We've had 80 personnel from the ADF support the SES last night when we were door knocking out at McGraths Hill with a warning for watch and act for evacuation. McGraths Hill hasn't evacuated yet, but we're watching and keeping an eye on that. And we've set up centres at Richmond Club, also at Castle Hill RSL. Animals can be taken to Castle Hill Showground. And on the western side at the North Richmond Community Centre, there's accommodation there if people need it. But what I'm finding, though, James, is that people will register there, but they have got some safe places and friends and mates that they are going to stay at. They're more comfortable there rather than staying at those evacuation centres. That's what we're seeing. We've got support there, though. We've got Anglicare, we've got Salvos. There's a whole range of support systems in place for them. And in talking to the SES, they've been able to use a high clearance vehicle, which has been at Wilberforce since the last floods, and that can drive through 1.2 metres of water very safely and connect with people and rescue them if need be. That's been a really good resource that's shared around statewide, and they've been able to get some good help and assistance with people there. We actually had a 6-week-old baby and mum that were rescued from Gronowes Point Road yesterday with the crew. They weren't in absolute danger, but they said, look, I think we should go. So we made sure that they were in a safe place and took them away from that area.
Yeah, well, you'd be very shaken, wouldn't you, in those circumstances? And I understand you're evacuating areas that you wouldn't normally evacuate.
Yes, and look, that's as a precaution. And look, the evacuation route around Pitt Town is open. It's a little rough, and it does need some work on it going forward. We'll be working on that in the future, but it still is open. Windsor Bridge, as you know, as you said, is closed. We've got that west side closed off. St Albans, the biggest issue there is that we've got supplies if we need to get to them. They'll be coming from Wiseman's Ferry. So we have systems in place, and Telstra have refilled the generators out at St Albans overnight. So that's good news as well. Yeah,
and the ADF have been called in to assist.
And they helped yesterday with the door knocking. Look, I must say that we're all working well together. Susan Templeman and myself are connecting very tightly on this and working as a community. I think that's important to be able to do that. They've now gone back to Holsworthy, and they'll be on standby if we need ADF further going forward.
Yeah, and having to do this, several times is terrible, but I guess, are you getting better at it? Are you learning each time and improving?
Oh, absolutely. And I think our people are learning and knowing when to move and not to take risk as well. The important thing is not to drive through waterlogged roads, because you just don't know how deep those waterways go. And people have heard that. We haven't had any lives lost in Hawkesbury. People have been pretty good about it. So I think, yes, we have learnt from the past, but look, it's punishing. It's very punishing for our people. Our turf farmers have just trying to get back up on their feet, and this is coming again. Roads still need repairs. There's around $60 million worth of broken infrastructure that Hawkesbury Council has to work with the state government and repair.
I know you've got a lot to do this morning, so thanks so much for taking the time to speak to us.
And thanks, James. Thanks for your time.
All the best. Robin Preston, State Member for the Hawkesbury.